I'm so happy you're here.
So great to be here.
It's been quite a year for you. You have moved clubs. You have gotten a number of certifications. You were just identified as a 40 under 40. Let's talk about the move from Fort Wayne to Brentwood, Los Angeles.
You know, like all opportunities comes out of nowhere, and you know, I loved my time at Sycamore. I had such amazing mentor and leadership there. Really hard move, but they couldn't have been more supportive, and an opportunity came and we ran with it. So Fort Wayne to Los Angeles, quite a change, totally different, you know, small town to big city, but it's been very welcome, and we've had a lot of fun there. You know, we're definitely in the very early steps of it, but you know, it's going well, and it's been an amazing transition.
Tell us a little bit about Brentwood. How big is it? How much do you do in food and beverage? How many members do you have?
Awesome. So Brentwood Country Club lies on the west side of Los Angeles, which is kind of like the more denser part, near almost like the beach side. 700 members, family club. It does have a big Jewish community, so that's been really amazing to learn about the culture and, you know, just really learn a whole new set of food, but also at the same time kind of emphasize on, you know, modernizing certain aspects of the program. So really great club, growing, definitely right in the heart of Los Angeles. So, you know, it's a lot of fun, and it gives us a lot of different areas to work on.
Yeah, how much do you do in F&B?
We do 4.1 million.
Okay, so it's a busy, big operation.
It does. It is in growing.
What attracted you to Brentwood? Why Los Angeles? Why this particular club?
I spent my early career in North and South Florida, which are, you know, both big club programs, and, you know, kind of built myself as a really good number two. Sycamore was all about going somewhere and, along with some other great leadership and mentorship, really taking a small club and really doing some fun stuff and putting it on the level of like what big programs are doing. So Los Angeles for me, when I made the move to Brentwood, was all about taking a club that had a great food and beverage in a very big city and kind of making my mark as a number one in such a big platform where you're going against such competition. As, you know, you have 5 platinum rated clubs within 10 miles, you have Michelin star restaurants, James Beard Award chefs. So, you know, if you could do it in Los Angeles, kind of as, you know, they say, if you could do it in New York, do it anywhere. If you could do it in LA, I feel for some years, you could really do it anywhere. And that was kind of the drive and the motivation behind the move.
That's amazing. I am so excited to see what you do there.
Oh, thank you.
You just became our first certified executive club chef also.
It's been amazing, and that's been really cool the last 9 months to be working on that at the start of the club. But, you know, they say there's never a good time, and for me, this is something that I was fortunate enough to work on, you know, through Fiddlesticks at Sycamore, and really got to finally, you know, put the bow on it at Brentwood. And it's an amazing certification. You know, I'm a really big advocate for it. I just love everything it stands for. It's a really cool, different type of certification that, you know, I feel builds on more experiences and stuff you've done. And like I said, it's an honor to have it, and I just big advocate to talk more about getting other chefs to get on board and get the certification.
Let's talk a little bit more about the process of certification. Now, you had to also get some wine training as part of that. Now, how has that kind of worked its way into what you do at Brentwood?
Yeah, so, you know, I ended up doing the WSET level 1, and I actually just completed the level 2. And it's been really amazing, you know, for a lot of us club chefs that, you know, with emphasis on fine dining, wine's a huge part of our culture. It was really cool to do the WSET training because it really emphasizes on, you know, food and wine are together, you know, and that kind of getting more educated on it has made me learn more about food and also opened me up to a whole new world. You know, level 1 was a lot more of an intro, where number 2 really puts you into the world of wine. But in the same way, I believe it just makes us better culinarians to really understand, you know, why you put acid with a fat, or why you're putting, you know, what sweet wine does on something of a dessert. And it's something that, you know, I knew a little bit of, definitely plays or, you know, taste, but it's a whole nother level of, you know, expertise, and it's been really fun to kind of, for those worlds to both collide in.
Did you inherit a sous chef? Have you been cultivating a new team there? What's kind of the culture?
When we got to Brentwood, it was kind of, you know, whole new face, whole new team. Definitely kind of, we matched, especially myself, the general manager, and the board on, you know, we're taking this new approach that we're going to be the best club in West LA. If you become one of the better clubs in West LA, you can become one of the better clubs out there in the country. So with that, I hired a chef de cuisine that amazing, very talented. Definitely wanted our a la carte to resemble more of what would be a restaurant, like a high-end restaurant. His name's Ryan Crawford. He's absolutely amazing. My old sous chef at Sycamore, Jack Wagner, which was my, just started with me about 9 months before. I brought him over to kind of as an assistant and also to really take on the banquet business because, we have a huge amount of event business and banquet business, and we have a huge a la carte. So they're both very important. And then also, so he's been very instrumental in getting those events to where, less Schaefer, more action, and he's a big, great personality. So with those two gentlemen, they're really, taking on the program to where it needs to be. And of course, I have a mixture of other chefs too. A very talented pastry chef, studied in France for years, an amazing cafe chef. I have a gentleman, Chef Angel, that's been there 40 years. That's kind of the gentleman that, we call him, he's like the OG. So he knows all the recipes, and especially being very new to Jewish culture and the food, he's been such an amazing help to me in learning that. So it's really cool where one of us doesn't know, the other one does, and it's a really well-balanced team. So I'm excited to, keep growing with them. And the best part is, we all have this plan of, we're going to be together for years. We're going to develop this program the right way. And I think a lot of us are at a time in our lives where we want to be somewhere in the next 5 or 10 years. So there's no better place than where we're at and what we're trying to cultivate.
Now that process, it doesn't move quickly, right? So as you try to get your arms around this operation and you start to learn the membership, that takes time. How do you, as the leader of this, begin that process? What does it look like with the members? Are you out in the dining room? Are you having tastings? How are you kind of starting this process?
So when I sold it to the board, and Brentwood has a history of amazing food, but as we're launching this new culture, it was big that, hey, it's going to take time. And we, to the chefs, it was that it can't be just what we put on a plate. We have to be out there in the dining room every day. There's probably not a service from breakfast, lunch, dinner events that my chefs aren't touching the floor. And a lot of people always say, I've never seen so many chefs on the floor, but it's been a big I've been advocating huge for it since Sycamore, since Fiddlesticks. That my mentor, Ryan Daniels, he was always on the floor, and we're able to get a good feeling of what people are looking for. So the first couple months, it's always rough because you're kind of taking over something that maybe, you didn't totally build or isn't in your image, but in the same way to show the members, hey, we're here, we're listening, and this is what's to come. And the funnest part, even, about 9 months in, is that some of the stuff we talked about, we're hitting that already. We have a long way to go at Brentwood, but, we're really building something for the future. And that's what I keep telling them is, members naturally want chefs to stick around for years and years. There's nothing better than seeing that face, us knowing the food they like, what they're gonna maybe order, planning that anniversary, year after year and building on it. So that's the biggest thing when we're out there on the floor is kind of selling, hey, these are not only getting ideas from them, but also that this is the future and we're gonna build it together. And it's been a lot of fun.
You had a wonderful relationship with your general manager at Sycamore.
Yes.
How are you building a similar relationship or as productive a relationship with your general manager at Brentwood?
Thorsten Loth, amazing general manager, has some, amazing background of, been in clubs for a long time. So a lot of it's just been kind of, open and honest relationship, Anything we've needed, we've been given, and anything we don't, we're planning for the future. So a lot of it's just been, I'd say, I say being brutally honest, but we're brutally honest with each other, expectations, standards, and just, kind of the same thing that this is gonna take time. And that's the biggest thing I would advocate to anybody trying to take on and just totally change everything is that it takes time, but there's a way to explain it, and there's little short goals you could hit in the middle that really kind of build up to the biggest image. It's easy to say, hey, we're going to be one of the better culinary programs in the country or one of the better programs in West LA. It's one thing to say, how are we going to do that? Are we going to get certifications? Are we going to take, polls of members? There's a lot of different ways, but I think for us, it's just being very honest with each other and showing each other a lot of support and grace. I'd say is big, especially in the first year, because there's I'll be the first to say the first couple months were very bumpy, and it wasn't because we were falling short. It's because we're just trying to get a whole new mindset change. I always tell my cooks this is a lifestyle to myself and a lot of the people I've worked with, and a lot of especially people at this conference. See it as a lifestyle, not just a job, and if we could get that thinking going, it will slowly change. But that's easier said than done. So, time and pressure make diamonds. So that's what we're building on.
So many good quotes in there.
I try. I can't spell, I can speak well. That's my advantage, so.
How's your family doing? With the shift from Indiana to LA, that's a big jump.
My wife is naturally a city girl. So she's been really extremely pleased. You know, she was an amazing supporter when I was in Indiana, and we always find the good in everything. And we had an amazing time there. And Sycamore, as I said, was amazing to amplify my career and the leadership and mentorship I had there. On the flip side, though, you know, being back in a big city again, you know, my daughter Anna, you know, turning 4 to 5, there's just so much to do. You know, going out on a Monday is just an amazing experience. As a chef, sometimes that's rough, but you know, you have 6 major sports teams, you have concerts, you have entertainment, you have beaches, you have mountains. So they're absolutely loving it. They're having a lot of fun, and she's been always amazing that anywhere, you know, I take her, she always molds in and, you know, makes the best of everything. But, you know, LA's been a very, I'd say, easier place for her just to have a lot of fun, and, you know, and same with my child. So we're really enjoying it.